Guitars and Cadillacs and hillbilly people. That's it. That's Dwight Yoakam with Guitars and Cadillacs. That one goes out to my mama, who's been bugging me for about 12 years to do something from Dwight Yoakam. And I like him. His band's awesome. He's really good. So now you know, Mom, I really do like Dwight. Dwight is alright. You're at rockinguitarlessons.com or you're at youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'm going to break this down. I'm doing a little more pieces than I normally do with my lessons because it's from my mom. And I'm hoping that she's going to start playing guitar when she sees this. So that's why I did a little bit extra. If you want the full song, you got to go to the website and check it out. So let's jump into this. I started with the first solo that the guitar player does because it's really catchy, and I wanted to, so I threw that in at the intro. This isn't how it actually starts, but it goes. So what you want to do is go fret 2 on the D string. You're going to pick that, and then you're going to go to the 4th fret on the D string and pick that, and then pull off back to the 2nd fret. So leave your first finger right where you have it on that D string. You're going to go pick, 4th fret, pick, and then pull off. And I've heard a lot of country guitar players use this type of riff. It's really cool. And then go to 2nd fret on the G. So you'll hit the 2nd fret on the A or on the G string with your first finger, and you're going to pick that twice. So let's subgroup that, and here's what that would sound like. And then go 4th fret on the D, pick that with your 3rd finger, and then right after that pick the 2nd fret on the D with your 1st finger. So you can set them both down at the same time. It'll make things quicker, so you won't struggle for trying to speed things up in this. And then go to the 3rd fret on the A. You're going to pick that, do a 1/4 step bend. So the guitar doesn't register 1/4 steps, it registers half steps, which is 1 fret at a time. So a 1/4 step is just a real slight bend, and just pull it down. Like that. A half step would be, it's too far, so just barely do it. And this is another thing a lot of blues and country players will use. And then go back to the 2nd fret on the G, where we did the 2 times there, and repeat the phrase from there to the bend again. So that, if you subgrouped, it would be. And then, if you memorize that shape, you're just going to repeat it, but move it up a string. 2nd fret on the D with your 1st finger, and play that twice. Then 4th fret A with your 3rd finger, and 2nd fret A with your 1st finger. Set them both down because you're going to need them. And there's no sense in going lifting it. Set them both down. And then middle finger, 3rd fret. And that's on the low E, and you'll do a 1/4 step bend again on that. So we have up to there. Let me play it. Then hit the low E after that 3rd fret on the E. So after the E, you'll go 3rd fret on the low E string. It's an F sharp note. Pick that, do a whole step slide ascending up to fret 4. And then 1st finger, 2nd fret on the A. 3rd finger, 4th fret on the A. Leave your 1st finger down because we're going back to it after this 4th fret. And go. And then take your 1st finger and kind of shift it down to 2nd fret on the D. So that little phrase would go. And rest with your right hand to stop that note from ringing. Okay, so up to there. And then that 2nd fret, you start the beginning of that 2nd fret thing where you go. So we're repeating. There's a lot of familiarity in this. There's a few notes that are not going dan dan dan, but most of them are. So you learn that at the beginning. You're going to do that twice. Up to there. End it on that 3rd fret on the low E with the 1/4 step bend, and then the last part. Let's see. Let's start with that little phrase. 3rd finger 7G, whole step slide to 9. It's the big time blues riff here. And then middle finger 8B, 3rd finger back to 9G. But as soon as you hit it, do a descending whole step slide back to 7 on the G. Subgroup those 4 things. I think that was 5 things actually. And then 5G, back to 7G, back to 5G. So you have, and then 7D. It's a good little practice group right there. Then go 3rd finger 5A. You're going to pick that, slide it to 7 on the A. Then with your index, bar the 5th fret on the G and B, like that. Bar is when you lay your finger kind of flat and curved to where you can catch 2 strings. Make sure you hear both those, but hit them together. So, yeah. So. And then 7D, did I say that? So after that 7D with your 3rd finger, go 2D with your 1st finger, and then 4D with your 3rd finger, and then middle finger 3A. So, and do a 1/4 step bend on that 3rd fret on the A string. It's actually a C note. Country players are awesome, man. Dwight Yoakam, whoever his guitar. Where I learned this was off of some show he did. I think it was Austin City Limits, but it was 1987 or something like that. I don't know if he still has the same guitar player, but he's good. Anyone Dwight gets is going to be good though. Okay, so, and then the verse comes in. Dwight is doing one thing in the verse on the acoustic, and the other guitar player that does the solos is doing something else behind that. And I wasn't sure how to show you guys this, but what I'll do is I'll show you what the electric guitar player is doing in this part, which is kind of like a Johnny Cash type feel. And this is an A major chord. I'm barring it, 2nd fret D, G, and B. Some people like to use 3 fingers, switch them around, but you're gonna palm mute. If you're not sure what palm muting is, I have some lessons up on that. Briefly, take the side of your palm right here, rest it right in front of the bridge, right in front of it. It can't be too far up or it chokes the note out, so it's got to be back here. And the rhythm's fairly simple here. You're going to palm mute the A, and then you're going to hit the rest of the A major chord, which is covered with your bar, if you're barring it or whatever, but D, G, and B on the 2nd fret. Don't palm mute, so you gotta lift your palm up. There's this bouncing motion that goes on. If you don't palm mute, here's what you get. Hear the difference? So the palm muting is actually really important, and you don't have to strum and pick hard really in this either. He's singing, this is a verse, so it's a little more, you know, the dynamics are kind of down. During that, Dwight's going, but when you put the 2 guitars together, it's cool. You know, they're utilizing both guitar players very well. So you have one, these are 8, it's an 8th note rhythm, which means 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we move to E major, which is middle finger 2A, 3rd finger 2D, 1st finger 1G. It's like that. And go palm mute on the low E now. We're going to take that same rhythm, that same beat, and apply it to the E major chord. So palm mute the low E, and then hit the A, D, and G string, the 3 strings that you're pushing down here, without palm muting. Now, I'm not doing it as many times because there's a little Johnny Cash type half-step bend going on. So you have this. Okay, is that making sense so far? But you'll half-step bend the second fret on the E. Stop it with your right hand or your picking hand. And then do it again, but do a half-step bend, or I'm sorry, I said half-step, it's quarter step. So you'll go quarter step, bend, then quarter step, bend, release. Release means you're bringing it back to its true pitch. And then you're back to this rhythm of the E major chord. But we're not putting the in it. So you'll have the full progression, or the full measure, you could say. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Let me play the verse up to there. This is a little longer lesson than normal, guys, but this is from Mama and my dad. So we have from the verse where the vocals come in. Then you go back to A major, this one, or if you want to bar it. Okay, and you'll go. And this is gonna, I'm not doing the whole verse, I'm doing the second half of the verse, because I want to lead into the chorus with this lesson too. Okay, so on the A we'll go, see, what would that be? So we'll go open A, palm muted, and then the D, G, and B string. Again, open A, palm mute, D, G, and B. So we have, and then hit all 4 strings and then go. And this is a E major scale. You'll go open E, 2nd fret E, 4th fret E, leading into the chorus, okay? So. Okay. Then when he does the guitars and Cadillacs and hillbilly music. I can't sing it like Dwight, I could try. Guitars and Cadillacs and hillbilly music. You know, I'm not a country singer. But this is a blues progression. And country players use it a lot too, and so do rock players. So you might be familiar with the rhythm of this. Some people will call it the honky tonk type rhythm. We want to palm mute everything in this. It's an A5 power chord to start with. Open A, 2nd fret D with your first finger. Palm mute and go 2 times. Take your 3rd finger, go to the 4th fret on the D, and I'm going to leave this first finger down, and I'll show you why in a second. Do the same thing. Take your pinky, go to the 5th fret. Do the same thing. Lift your pinky off. See, I left these fingers down for a reason. Lift the pinky off and then do 2 more times on the A and D. Guitars and Cadillacs and... Then, take that, move it up a string. 2nd fret A, do the same exact rhythm. Palm muting, E and A string now. Hillbilly music. And I went twice through on that progression. 1 time is this. 3, 4 and 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As you go twice through and then back to the. See. It's the whole chorus. So actually, on the last time through, hit the A and D, no palm mute. I believe that's what he does. 3rd finger 2A, slide to 4. So open A, 3rd finger, 2nd fret, slide to 4, 2 to D, 4D, back to 2D, left my first finger down there, and shift the finger down and catch the 2G. And that's it for Dwight Yoakam. Guitars and Cadillacs. Alright guys, I'm Mike Gross at rockinguitarlessons.com and youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and check for my website coming this month, June of 2012. Not sure the exact launch date of it, but it's coming in June, and there'll be a lot of cool things for you guys, cool offers and cool stuff, some things you can't get on YouTube. So be waiting for that. I'll keep you guys posted.